How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and I've consistently noticed that one of the most used pieces of tech in my day-to-day life is the iPad Pro. In fact, I'm using it right now. Today, seeing as I love making these videos and you guys seem to enjoy watching them, I thought I'd take you guys through the average day in the life of the iPad Pro. In fact, I have the script for this video up here. Alright, so without further ado, let's cut to the morning. I like to wake up pretty early, as I've historically said. Recently, I've tried to be more consistent with this, as I find waking up and going to sleep at the same time every single day leads me to have more energy for the day and get better, more consistent sleep. After this, I grab a glass of water, unplug the iPad, and then head to my shower. Here, I use the iPad for music, as the speaker system in this thing is actually pretty good. And not only is it nice to have music on in the shower, but it's also pretty damn good at keeping you on track and making sure that you don't spend an obscenely long time in the shower. After this, an alarm will go off letting me know that I have to take my medication. So I actually have to take quite a lot of medicine. In fact, I have one of those pill boxes. I am literally 21 years old. So I actually like to use alarms to organize my life, as I'm pretty bad at keeping track of time, to be totally honest. And I find that just having an alarm that goes off every day with a neat little label letting me know what I need to do is a really good way to make sure that all the things that I actually need to do get done. Up next, it's time to have breakfast. I use the iPad as a coffee timer in order to make sure that my brews are good, as well as to look at recipes for any weird food that I might be having a go at. And today was one of those days. I've been wanting to try baked oats for a while, and because I'm lazy and don't want to bake them, I made them in the microwave. I'm gonna be honest, it was actually a pretty nice breakfast. I also, again, used the iPad to throw on some music, as I really find that music wakes me up first thing in the morning. Whether it be the usual weird stuff that I listen to, or just watching a YouTube video. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Algernon Cadwallader. In fact, I think that was the thing I was listening to last. Yep, two Algernon Cadwallader albums in my recent, along with an AJJ album and Captain Jazz. So that's what I've been listening to recently. After I finish my breakfast and walk my dog, I get to work. Now, depending on the day, I'll do different tasks, and this is pretty strict now, ever since I got organized. I use the iPad Pro to open a Google Sheets document where I look at all my tasks for the day. I personally really like Google Sheets, as it syncs over all my devices, so I always have my plan for the day ready, and it means that I can open this up on any device and see what I need to be doing. Ever since I made this document and started checking it daily, I've got a lot more work done in a much more structured way, which has been pretty awesome. To give you an idea of how much this iPad gets used in my production schedule, I use it for planning, scripting, thumbnail editing, and yes, all my thumbnails are now made on the iPad Pro. Personally, I just think it's that much more intuitive than doing it with a keyboard and mouse. I have this knockoff Apple Pencil. I'm probably going to get the real one soon, because I bought this to see if I like the experience, and I do. It's just a whole lot more intuitive than doing it with a keyboard and mouse, so I have fully switched to photo editing on the iPad. Today was a shooting day, so I usually use my iPad for checking my scripts, using it as a teleprompter on camera, and making shot lists for B-roll I might need. I try to produce at least 2 videos at a time nowadays, so this will be 2 scripts back to back, 2 talking head sections, and 2 B-roll shoots. In fact, I just finished shooting a video, hence why I'm wearing exactly the same outfit 2 videos in a row. This may sound like a lot, and it can be, but it is so much easier than doing the whole process and then having to repeat it. This is called batching, and it has saved me a significant amount of time. It also gets me in the creative mood faster, which is always good. I'll set the iPad up with the magnetic kickstand and start recording. Now, this will usually take anywhere between half an hour to an hour, depending on how ambitious the video is. And after this, my throat will occasionally be pretty sore. So at this point, I'd like to take a break. I'll rest my voice for a bit, maybe watch some videos on the iPad, and then I'll get back to it. After both videos are recorded, it's probably time for lunch. So I'll set the iPad up again, similarly to how I would in the morning. However, today I was making something that I've made a lot of times before, so today I just used it as a music player. During lunch, I don't really use my iPad, or even my phone for that matter. Some of the time I watch TV, some of the time I just appreciate the food. Once lunch is done, I'll usually have a bit of a longer break, and sometimes this will involve tech, maybe the iPad, maybe my phone, maybe my computer, but more often than not, it's the guitar. I didn't want to bring my amp in here, so There we go. That's some guitar playing. Once my brain's refreshed and I have more energy from lunch and most likely a cup of coffee as well, I'm back at it. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I can get 2 videos worth of B-roll filmed in one production day. So this is usually split over multiple days, but I'll make some shot lists, which to be honest is super dull and I hate doing, but I always regret not doing it because it makes shoots so much easier. You can just focus on getting good creative shots when you make a shot list, and you don't have to constantly think about, have I got enough shots? Do I need more shots? It just simplifies the whole process. So while it is very dull, don't get me wrong, it is dull. I usually try to remember to do it. It's also super satisfying to check off all of these shots and not have to worry about running out of B-roll in the final edit. Once again, I'll use the iPad for music while I'm doing this, and as shooting B-roll is one of my favorite things to do, this simply flies by, and before I know it, my alarm's going off telling me it's time to eat again. Once again, rinse and repeat from breakfast and lunch, and I'm done for the day. Sometimes I will work later on into the night, especially if I want to get a video done. Like today, for example, I had a really busy week this week and did not have time during the week to make videos when I normally did. So, I'm recording this at 9 o'clock at night. Once again, I'll usually play my guitar at this point because I love it. I'll be honest, I don't actually own a proper guitar tuner, so I use the iPad combined with GTDB to throw my guitar into some weird math rocky tunings that I personally love to play in. Once my hands are borderline bleeding, I'll usually head on to chat with my friends. Perks of living out here in the gorgeous countryside. Seeing your friends in person every night isn't really all that doable. And here, the iPad is again used for some Gartic phone. One of my friends put me onto this and I cannot get enough. Until my hands get tired, or I get sick of drawing the same hieroglyph of my friend. Seriously, play enough drawing games with your friends, you will come up with hieroglyphs for each other. At the end of the day, my iPad is usually around 20-ish% charge, which is actually pretty good seeing as how often I use it in my work. In fact, on days when I don't really use it, this thing can last ages as the standby power preservation on this thing is excellent. I've gone for days with this thing unplugged before, picked it up, and it's been at like 20%. As a bit of a bonus, I also did mention before that I am working on switching my thumbnail process away from using a desktop computer system to this iPad. I find that making thumbnails on the iPad with Adobe Lightroom and Affinity Photo is much more intuitive on the iPad, especially with one of these Apple Pen. Well, it's not an Apple Pencil, it's a knockoff that I bought to see if I like it. And I do, so I'll probably pick up a proper Apple Pencil. As I said though, this will change depending on what I'm doing. For example, if I'm editing, I'm probably not going to use the iPad at all. But on a scripting day, I don't really put this thing down. I connect often this Magic Keyboard, because I'm actually replacing this keyboard soon for my desktop setup, and I can simply just dive into work this way. I think for a computer screen, 11 inches is a little bit small. I've never been a particularly huge fan of the 11-inch MacBook Air series, but with an iPad and all the things that I like to use an iPad for, it's perfect. I don't really feel myself needing anything bigger. It gets used for scripting, thumbnails, and to help me organize my daily life, and it's amazing throughout all of it. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, do you own an iPad Pro? Do you plan to get one at some point? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone who helps support the show over on Patreon. If you want to get bonus videos, awesome wallpaper packs every month, and much more, then feel free to check that out. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.